Imagine waking up and there's a social media ad, perfectly crafted, already published, automatically. Or maybe, getting a brief from an AI research intern on the latest industry news, complete with all the sources cited. Perhaps even watching a bot just tirelessly migrate thousands of old customer records right there on your screen. These things, they aren't really far off dreams anymore. They're actually happening now. Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to dig into this really remarkable guide. It cuts through, well, all the noise around AI and automation tools. It's basically a definitive list of 12 game-changing integrations for n8n. And if you don't know n8n, it's this super powerful open source automation platform. These are the tools the pros are, let's say, really using.
Exactly. Yeah, it can feel totally overwhelming trying to keep up with everything, right? So our mission today really is to distill the absolute must-knows from this source. We're going to look at each tool, what it does, how it works out in the real world, and maybe most importantly, what kind of pro-level upgrades it really enables. Think of it as like a shortcut to wielding some serious automation power. By the end, you'll know exactly how these tools can supercharge your own workflows, saving you hours, not just minutes. Okay, let's unpack this.
All right, first up, Google Gemini, it feels like. Well, more than just another AI model. It's almost like a system upgrade for your whole automation setup. I kind of think of it as the decathlete of the AI world. What's really interesting here is its direct line into Google's huge multimodal infrastructure, which means it's surprisingly good at, well, almost everything. Analyzing audio, transcribing recordings, even examining complex documents.
Yeah, and for automation specifically, the immediate power is video and image generation from just simple text prompts. Imagine creating really high-quality visual media, like world-class stuff, right inside an automation workflow. It's pretty wild.
Okay, picture this. A local coffee shop. An n8n workflow triggers every morning. It sends a prompt to Gemini like, create a cinematic 15-second video of hot tea being poured in a cozy kitchen. And maybe 60 seconds later, boom, a ready-to-use video ad for their drink of the day pops up on their phone, ready for Instagram or TikTok. That's basically a whole video production studio in one little automation node.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting for deeper analysis. You could feed Gemini, say, a customer video review.
Yep.
One node transcribes the audio. Another analyzes the visual stuff. They smiling, how's the product look? A third node does sentiment analysis on the text itself. Then a fourth Gemini node pulls all three of those outputs together into a single, really rich summary. This gives you insights you just couldn't get from text alone.
So the fundamental shift Gemini offers, it seems, is going beyond just text or images separately.
Yeah, it's analyzing video, audio, and text together, giving you richer, unified insights. Okay, next up, ElevenLabs. This tool takes your automations beyond just silent text. It adds personal, human-sounding voices. I kind of like to call it the Morgan Freeman for your workflows. It really does have best-in-class text-to-speech, a huge library of amazing voices, and this kind of freaky ability to clone your own voice from just a few minutes of audio.
Right, so instead of that generic, your order has shipped, email, .n8n.
Yeah.
Imagine an n8n workflow triggers when something ships. It grabs the customer details, sends them to ElevenLabs with a prompt like, hey, customer name, just wanted to let you know your order has shipped. But it uses a clone voice, maybe the founder's voice. Generates a little audio file, sends it via WhatsApp. That personal voice message, it almost always beats a bullying email, don't you think?
Oh, totally. And you can take it even further. You can use multiple cloned voices to create full scripted dialogues. Think about employee training. An n8n workflow could generate an audio scenario, maybe a conversation between a seasoned sales manager and a new rep handling a tricky client objection. It turns passive learning into this engaging little audio play.
So adding voice isn't just like a gimmick then?
No way. It creates more personal, more memorable, just more human customer experiences.
The internet today. Wow. It can feel like this chaotic jungle, right? All these dynamic apps. Trying to pull clean data from sites like Google Maps or Instagram. Honestly, it feels like trying to catch a fish in the Amazon with your bare hands. You're probably just going to get a lot of mud.
That chuckles. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And that's where Apify comes in. It's kind of like your high-tech fishing boat. It takes all that unstructured chaos from pretty much any website and turns it into clean, structured spreadsheets ready for your workflows. Apify's secret weapon is something they call actors. These are basically pre-built, specialized little robots. Experts design them for specific scraping tasks. Need data from Instagram profiles? There's an actor. Google Maps results. Yep, actor for that too. The point is, you don't need to be some master coder to get really good data.
And what's great is the free tier. It's incredibly generous. Gives you roughly, $5 worth of web scrapes a month. For most people, that's actually plenty for some pretty ambitious projects. Let's think about a local dominator lead list. Imagine wanting a complete list of hotels and restaurants in, say, Sydney from Google Maps. And anywhere in workflow using Apify's Google Maps Scrape Actor can pull all that in maybe an hour. Names, addresses, phone numbers, ratings, all in a perfect spreadsheet while you're, off doing something else. Enjoying the beach, maybe? Or how about an e-commerce price watch? You can set up a daily anywhere in workflow. Apify scrapes the prices of your top 5 products from Amazon, maybe some competitors. If a competitor drops their price, bang, instant Slack alert. Keeps you ahead of the game.
Okay, now this is where it gets really mind-blowing. Combine Apify with something like ChatGPT. Imagine a scheduled n8n workflow. Runs daily. Uses an Apify actor to scrape the top 20 trending posts from a hot subreddit, or maybe a viral TikTok hashtag. It feeds that text straight to ChatGPT, right, but prompt it to act like a market research analyst. Identify recurring products, brands, features, list the top 3 emerging trends. 2-sec silence. Whoa. I mean, just imagine scaling that, spotting the next big thing before anyone else even knows it exists.
So Apify's real trick is making that complex web scraping seem simple.
Exactly. It uses those pre-built actors to just pull clean, structured data nice and easy. Okay, so most browser automation, it runs headless. You don't see it. It's invisible in the background. Airtop is different. It's more like screen sharing with a ghost. You can actually watch it work in real time.
Yeah, and that visual feedback, that's actually huge. You give it a command, and you literally see the AI's little cursor moving, typing, clicking through the task. It's invaluable for debugging, especially complex stuff. And honestly, it builds a ton of trust. You see it doing the work. Think about like a legacy data migration. Some business needs to move thousands of customer records from some ancient web-based CRM. No API, nothing. Doing that manually. Soul-crushing work. With Airtop, an n8n workflow reads a spreadsheet, tells the Airtop agent, log in, go here, type this, type that, click save. You can just sit back, watch it, chew through maybe a week's worth of manual data entry in an afternoon.
And here's a really cool angle. Human-AI collaboration. You can build a system for it. A human starts a task, right? Does the critical thinking parts, but
Yep.
when they hit a really tedious bit, like filling in 20 lines of company history or something, they click a little bookmarklet. The Airtop agent jumps in, takes over the current browser session, does the boring part, then seamlessly hands control back. It's like a true co-pilot system.
So the biggest win with Airtop is really seeing it work visually.
Yeah, it helps debug complicated flows and just builds that crucial trust in the automation.
Standard AI models, they're powerful, but they often have this limitation. Their knowledge is kind of frozen in time. Asking them about yesterday's news, it's a bit like asking a history professor to predict the future. Doesn't really work.
Right, and Perplexity is the elegant solution here. It's not just another language model. They call it a conversational answer engine. Think of it like the perfect research intern. You get top-tier AI reasoning, plus live internet access, plus this almost obsessive need to cite its sources.
Okay, imagine an instant market report. You could have an n8n workflow, runs every morning at 8 a.m. It sends Perplexity a prompt. Act like a market analyst. What were the top 3 biggest funding rounds in AI automation in the last week? Summarize them, include the source links. Moments later, you get this perfectly formatted Slack message, details the funding, gives concise summaries, and crucially, verifiable citations and links for every single fact.
Yeah, or you could automate due diligence on potential partners. Feed it a company website. The workflow sends targeted questions to Perplexity. Summarize their products. Find the 3 latest news articles. Who are the key executives? It pulls all those summaries together into one clean document. You get a comprehensive brief in minutes, not hours.
So Perplexity basically solves that frozen knowledge issue we see in other AIs.
Exactly. It accesses and cites live internet info for current verifiable answers. All right, now if you've ever built a RAG system, and that's retrieval augmented generation, where an AI uses like external knowledge bases to answer questions, you've probably hit its big weakness, irrelevant search results.
Oh yeah, that's a real headache. Your support bot gets asked, what's your refund policy? The first search might pull up 10 documents that just have the word policy, privacy policy, shipping policy, maybe even the office's open door policy. The AI gets confused, it gives a vague answer, or worse, it confidently gives the wrong answer.
So ReRanker acts like an intelligent editor for that messy list. It takes those initial search results and it analyzes them for semantic relevance. It looks for the actual meaning, the intent, not just keywords. Then it re-ranks them, pushing the actual refund policy document right to the top and kind of tossing out the irrelevant noise.
And that's not just technical, right? It's about building trust. Users will forgive an, They rarely forgive a confidently wrong answer. ReRanker seems like it dramatically boosts that RJ accuracy and therefore user confidence.
I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes, especially trying to get really precise answers from an AI when there's just a sea of data. That's honestly why ReRanker is so appealing. It's like having this super smart librarian sorting things out first. And for a pro-level upgrade, think about a massive, 300-page employee handbook. An employee asks something specific. What's our policy on international business travel for engineering projects, and what are the per diem limits? ReRanker could surgically find the one single paragraph in that huge document that perfectly answers that question. It turns a document graveyard into an instant, precise answer engine. Pretty cool.
So ReRanker's core job is boosting AI answer accuracy through relevance.
By intelligently filtering search results for semantic relevance, making sure the context is precise.
PDS.
Mhm.
For years, they've been the absolute bane of automation, haven't they? It's like data trapped in amber, the information's in there, but it's frozen, hard to get at, super messy to copy-paste reliably.
Yeah, but the Mistral integration, it finally seems to crack that code. Mistral's AI models are exceptionally good at accurately parsing and pulling out clean, usable text, even from really complex PDFs.
Okay, think about vendor invoices. Usually a human opens the PDF, finds the vendor name, invoice number, amount, due date, manually types it all into QuickBooks or Xero. With Mistral, you could have an automated n8n workflow watch an inbox for PDF attachments. Sends the PDF to Mistral, pulls out clean text. That text goes to maybe ChatGPT, which is prompted to extract those specific fields, vendor name, invoice number, etc. Then the workflow automatically creates a new bill in your accounting software and schedules a payment reminder. All that manual error-prone work, just gone.
And this allows for a really powerful bridge between physical and digital docs, too. Imagine an employee just takes a picture of a multi-page document with their phone. Those images trigger an n8n workflow. An OCR node that's optical character recognition converts the images to rough text. Then, that messy OCR text gets sent to Mistral for a second pass. Mistral's advanced model cleans up the OCR errors, understands the structure, and spits out much, much more accurate text. Suddenly, stacks of paper become clean, structured data you can actually use.
So Mistral's real power lies in finally unlocking that data stuck inside PDFs.
Exactly. It accurately extracts clean, usable text from previously inaccessible PDF data.
Yeah.
Okay, this next tool, the Think tool, it fundamentally upgrades how AI agents solve problems. Standard AI can sometimes be a bit too eager. It rushes to an answer without really considering the consequences. The Think tool is basically the AI's pause button. It forces the agent to stop, reflect, analyze before it acts. It's kind of the digital version of measure twice, cut once.
Right. So let's say you ask your AI agent, hey, please move my 2 p.m. meeting to 3 p.m. Without Think, I might just blindly do it, right? Maybe double booking you. But with Think enabled, the AI's internal process might look more like, okay, user wants meeting A moved to 3 p.m. Step 1, check calendar at 3 p.m. Meeting B is already there. Goal, avoid conflicts. Action, inform user of conflict. Ask for decision. That little bit of reflection avoids potentially big mistakes.
Yeah, and you can use this to get much higher quality creative work, too, using what you could call an iterative thinking loop. Say the task is draft a marketing plan. Step 1, AI creates a basic outline. Step 2, that outline goes to a second AI node, maybe prompted like, you're a top marketing critic. Find the 3 biggest weaknesses here. Step 3, the original outline and that critique go to a third AI node. Okay, refine the original outline based on this critique. You can run that loop a few times before the AI even starts writing the full plan. It mimics how humans draft and refine, leading to a way more thoughtful final output.
So Think basically makes the AI more reliable by forcing that pause for reflection.
It forces the AI to pause, reflect, analyze. That prevents errors and improves the quality. Sponsor.
The AI world used to feel dominated by just a few really big names, but now it's definitely diversifying. These next 2 integrations, they give advanced automators a much wider, more strategic set of tools.
First, DeepSeek. This is a powerful but also really efficient large language model, an LLM. It offers pretty solid performance, but at a significantly lower price. Think about high-volume repetitive tasks, basic text classifications, simple summaries. Using a premium model for that is often total overkill, cost-wise. Switching to DeepSeek for those tasks can genuinely cut your AI API cost by like 30, maybe even 50%, with hardly any noticeable drop in quality for those specific uses. It's just the smart, strategic budget choice for certain jobs.
Okay, and this next one, OpenRouter. This sounds genuinely exciting. It tackles what I sometimes call subscription creep. If you're using OpenAI and Anthropic and Google Gemini, suddenly your credit card statement looks like the guest list for an AI conference.
Yeah, exactly. So OpenRouter acts like a universal remote for AI models. It gives you access to this massive and always growing library of different AI models, but all through a single interface and, crucially, a single billing account. And this makes OpenRouter a really strategic weapon, optimizing for both cost and quality. You could build an n8n workflow that acts as an intelligent router. A user's prompt comes in. First, maybe send it to a cheap, fast AI model via OpenRouter just to classify its intent. Is it simple classification, complex reasoning, creative writing, code generation? Based on that classification, an n8n switch node dynamically routes the original prompt to the best possible model for that specific task, again, via OpenRouter. Simple task, use the cheapest model that works. Complex reasoning, route it to a top-tier model like Claude 4 Opus. Creative writing, pick a model known for flair. It automatically picks the right tool for the job.
So DeepSeek and OpenRouter really allow for a more strategic, nuanced use of AI.
Yeah, they help optimize cost and quality by routing tasks to the most appropriate AI model available.
Okay, this next one, MCP, that's Multi-Agent Communication Protocol. It sounds a bit less flashy, maybe more foundational, but it seems really crucial for where AI is heading. The basic problem it's trying to solve is that most AI tools kind of live in their own walled gardens, right? Claude's over here, ChatGPT's over there. MCP is one of the first big attempts to build standardized bridges between them, letting them share information and commands seamlessly.
Yeah, think of it like this. You know how massive bridges connect big cities across wide rivers? Protocols like MCP, they're the essential infrastructure that's going to eventually connect all these isolated islands in the AI world into like one single cohesive continent. It's the underlying plumbing that makes everything flow together.
So the n8n integration with MCP creates this actual two-way channel between n8n and an external AI, maybe like Claude. You could literally chat with Claude and say something like, hey, check my n8n calendar and find me a 30-minute slot for a meeting with Sarah at sometime next Tuesday afternoon.
Right. And here's the cool back and forth, the dance. Claude, using MCP, sends a structured request over to n8n. Your n8n workflow gets it, checks your Google Calendar, finds an open slot, and sends a response back to Claude via MCP. Claude then presents it to you. Okay, I found an open slot at 3:00 p.m. Want me to book it? You say yes. Claude sends one final command back to n8n, and n8n creates the calendar event. That's real collaboration.
We often get really excited about the new AI products, the flashy interfaces, but the long-term future, the real revolution, I think is defined by these underlying protocols. Think about the early internet. We love the website, sure, but the magic was really in those quiet protocols like HTTP for web pages, SMTP for email. MCP feels like the next generation of that foundational layer. It's building the rules of the road that will eventually let thousands of specialized AI agents work together, solving problems way too complex for any single AI today. So these foundational protocols like MCP are critical because they let different AIs actually talk and work together.
Exactly. They enable that sophisticated, seamless communication and collaboration between diverse AI systems. Okay, for a lot of automators, let's be honest, the database has often just been a glorified Google Sheet or maybe Airtable. And look, they're great for getting started, but you hit a wall pretty quickly. They get slow, they get messy, they just lack the real power and scalability you need for serious automation.
Right. Enter Supabase. Think of it like a full-powered PostgreSQL database, which is serious stuff, but with a surprisingly friendly interface. And these extra superpowers built specifically for automation. If Google Sheets is like a notepad, Supabase is more like a searchable, indexed, infinitely large library for all your data. Remember that e-commerce price watch example we talked about with Apify? With a spreadsheet, you'd only see the current prices. With Supabase, you build a history. A scheduled n8n workflow runs daily, uses Apify to scrape prices, then uses the Supabase node to save that data along with a timestamp. After a few months, you have this incredibly valuable historical data. Then you can use another n8n workflow or even an AI to ask Supabase. Analyze the price history for product X. What are the trends? Does competitor Y always run sales on holidays? You're moving from just reacting day to day to actually predicting future strategy based on real data.
And this part is truly revolutionary, especially for AI builders. Supabase has built-in support for vector embeddings. This basically lets you turn your private, secure Supabase database into a super-powered knowledge base for your RD systems, like the ones we discussed with ReRanker. So instead of uploading your sensitive company documents to some third-party service, you create a workflow that reads your documents, uses an AI to turn them into vector embeddings, those are just numeric representations of the data's meaning, and stores them securely in your own Supabase instance. Then your REG agent queries your private database for context. You get complete ownership, control, and privacy over your company's brain. That's huge.
So Supabase isn't just a better database. It fundamentally changes how you manage data for automation.
It provides that scalable, secure, private, real database power. It totally transforms data management.
Forms, they're often the very front door for business data, right?
Yeah.
But most forms are, let's face it, kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Tally.so, especially when you connect it to n8n, transforms a simple form into this intelligent, powerful starting point for really complex automations.
Yeah, Tally's known for two things mainly. It's super clean, almost Notion-like building experience, which people love, and it's incredibly generous, free tier, unlimited forms, unlimited submissions. It really is the perfect modern front door for kicking off your n8n workflows.
Okay, imagine this. Waking up Monday morning to find 3 new client projects are completely set up in all your systems. Paperwork sent, team notified, project spaces created, everything. This is totally possible with a Tally-powered workflow. A new client fills out a Tally.so onboarding form. When they hit submit, it triggers an n8n webhook. The workflow grabs that data and instantly creates a customer profile and maybe a subscription in Stripe, creates a new shared client folder in Google Drive, invites the client to a private Slack channel, sends a personalized welcome aboard email, adds a new project and tasks in Asana or Trello. That whole process, which might take 30, even 60 minutes manually, and is prone to errors, done flawlessly in seconds.
And for a really pro-level setup, you can use Tally's conditional logic to turn your form into an intelligent business router. Tally lets you have hidden fields and logic based on answers. So, build a contact us form with, say, a budget dropdown. If a user selects over $10,000, the form submission triggers your high-priority lead workflow in n8n. That immediately slacks your top salesperson and maybe creates a detailed briefing doc. But if they select under $1,000, it triggers a completely different low-priority nurture workflow, maybe just adding them to an email sequence. Your team's attention automatically gets focused on the highest value opportunities right from the first touch point.
So Tally's Atoms really goes way beyond just being a basic form builder.
Oh, yeah. It becomes an intelligent, dynamic trigger for complex, multi-step business automations.
Wow. We've just walked through 12 pretty incredible tools, haven't we? It feels like a complete professional-grade orchestra for automation. You've got these creative powerhouses like Gemini and ElevenLabs, tireless data wranglers like Apify and Mistral. You have foundational databases like Supabase, smart filters like ReRanker, and this whole suite of different AI brains, plus the tools needed to actually bridge them together.
Yeah, and in this new era, I really think your value isn't defined by trying to play every single instrument yourself. You know, being the marketer and the analyst and the administrator and the researcher all at once, your role, more and more, is becoming the conductor.
Right. n8n is your stage. These 12 tools we talk about, they're your orchestra sections and your creative vision. That's the music. Your job is to write the score that's the workflow, the thing that brings all these specialized, powerful instruments together in perfect harmony to create something really amazing.
You know, for most people, Monday morning probably means another week of those same repetitive tasks, kind of playing the same single note over and over again. But for those who understand what's actually possible now, the week ahead looks fundamentally different. It's like a whole new symphony just waiting to be composed.
You are now the conductor, standing before this orchestra of truly immense power.
So the only question left really is, what symphony will you create?
We really hope this deep dive has sparked some new ideas for how you can transform the way you work. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep creating. OutTRO Music.